Hey there, everyone. That Sexy Nerd is back again, and we're watching Steve Reviews. Haven't watched him in a while. Yeah, he did. What is it? He did the banned and censored and banned moments from SpongeBob, and I'm like, what? Now I'm sure most of this is gonna be from like the newer seasons. If there's anything from the old days, like I'm going to be really interested in that because I watched most of those episodes front to back. I love all of them, and just such a great thing to grow up with. I'm trying to give it to my boy Aiden, but he's getting there. He's getting all the things he needs to get. But yeah, I know this is going to be entertaining as hell. So. Not much to say on that. I'm really interested to see what these moments are that I've missed or were banned or whatever. Maybe I actually remembered them. So please, smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for my latest reactions to my latest videos. And let's do this thing, y'all.
In this video, we're going to go through every banned episode, censored scene, and cut storyboard idea in the SpongeBob SquarePants series that were considered too adult, too violent, or too controversial for airing. And considering some of the stuff that did make it to air, you can only imagine what didn't make the final cut. We'll go through this in chronological episode order, starting with Reef Blower. Also, I had a raging cold when I recorded this, so I do apologize. Now, there's nothing horrifically bad that was censored or removed from this episode, but there is a lot of misinformation surrounding issues with it that I think needs clearing up. The episode is unique in the series in that it has a much shorter runtime than the standard 11 minutes, clocking in at just 2 minutes 50 seconds, and is also unique to the series as it features no dialogue whatsoever. The original rumor that was spread stated that this episode originally started out as a standard 11-minute episode complete with dialogue, but during production the studio's recording equipment broke, resulting in them not being able to record dialogue, thus having to significantly reduce the runtime. It was a fun little story that many people believed. That is until the 10th of June 2022, when former crew member Jay Lender put a post on Twitter stating that the episode was always intended just to be an extension of the pilot episode, Help Wanted. As that episode only ran for around 8 minutes, so they needed a few minutes extra to fill up the standard 11-minute runtime. This is evident from early production records showing that the original title of Reef Blower was simply going to be referred to as Pilot Extension. As for the reason for lack of dialogue, this was because this short episode was still going to be officially classed as a whole separate episode. And the Screen Actors Guild rules mandate that the voice actors must be paid their fees for each episode recorded, regardless of its length. And that second set of fees would have cost around $2,500 at the time of production. Which for such a short episode didn't really seem worth it, especially for a brand new show. So the decision was made to just not have any dialogue at all. So yeah, not quite as fun as the studio's recording equipment breaking, but still interesting nonetheless. And the episode did still have a deleted scene, which would have featured SpongeBob's Reef Blower eroding the foundation of Squidward's house, causing it to fall over. So yeah, that's something. Tea at the tree dome. There was an unused painted shot of SpongeBob's dry mouth during the I don't need it scene. There's no official reason given for why this was cut. Doesn't seem particularly creepy compared to the other shots used, but maybe they just thought it looked a little bit too much like something else. I need it! Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. In a similar vein, there was also another painted shot removed in this episode, and that is of SpongeBob wearing the donut on his finger. Again, no official reason given, but perhaps they also felt it looked a little bit too suggestive of something else.
Fair enough.
FUN. In the earlier storyboard, when Plankton is given his net, he then asks SpongeBob, so what happens after we shoot them? And pretends to fire his jellyfish net like a rifle. In the final episode, Plankton instead asks, so what happens after we eat them?
What happens after we eat them?
You don't eat them, you catch them like this.
And though still holding his net like a rifle, he does not pretend to shoot it. Scaredy Pants. There's an unused close-up paint shot of SpongeBob staring at the screen with his shaved head, which would have been used as the final shot of the episode, but was removed as being deemed too frightening for kids. In the UK airings, there was also an additional cut where the scene of Patrick shaving SpongeBob's head is removed, and instead it would just immediately cut from him sitting in the barber's chair to him wearing his costume.
Okay, are you ready?
Remember, like this. What do you think?
In a way, I kind of actually prefer the cut of the UK version, no pun intended, as not getting any insight as to how Patrick shaves SpongeBob's head adds more to the shock reveal at the end.
Hey, what do you know? I scared him. Ah!
Dying for pie. The open heart surgery scene went on for a little bit longer in the storyboard drawings, with SpongeBob actually trying to stop the bleeding. Honestly amazed this scene made it through to the final episode in the first place.
Yeah, what?
Squirrel jokes. There's an unused paint shot of Sandy's teeth from the scene in which SpongeBob is first inspired to make the jokes about squirrel teeth, possibly due to it looking a little bit creepy, as they still use this shot in the final episode, only this time it's just a regular animated shot.
I guess
this episode also receives some controversy over its portrayal of racism, as the other sea creatures discriminate towards Sandy.
Wow.
As far as I'm aware, it has never been pulled from broadcast.
Good.
Don't stand too close to a squirrel, Billy. You'll catch it stupid.
Okay, Ma.
Procrastination.
It's not that much.
This episode has multiple cuts. The first being a brief shot where Patrick is rubbing lotion on Sandy's shoulders, as it was thought that it was looking like he was taking off her bra. What?
What?
The scene where SpongeBob imagines one day having his driving licenses cut for having actual footage of a race car crashing into a wall. And most oddly, the scene where SpongeBob practices his workout was also cut.
Why?
No idea why. Maybe the censors thought that nose was a little bit too like something else. Though it does seem in the most recent airings that all of these cut moments have now been restored.
Yeah, what?
Sailor Mouth. This episode was planned on having a scene of SpongeBob saying, "Go yourself," followed by Patrick saying, "You too," which would have been said during the Eels and Escalators game. It was cut for the fact that the swear words used were too easy to decipher.
All of them were easy.
I would argue that that was already the case with some of the lines, which actually did make it into the final episode.
Exactly.
Hey, Patrick, how the...
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
Fucking good.
Now, when this episode was in production, the voice cast were originally asked to use fake swear words that would be bleeped over later, but the cast found this too difficult, so were eventually allowed to use actual swear words.
Kleeman.
According to SpongeBob voice actor Tom Kenny, the original uncut audio recordings do still exist in the Nickelodeon vault, but will never likely be officially released. There have been a couple of audio clips leaked which are said to be from the original files, but these have been met with some skepticism.
Hello, Patrick. Lovely fucking day we're having, isn't it?
Why, yes it is, SpongeBob. This fucking day is particularly fucking lovely.
But if you want to hear what it may actually sound like to hear SpongeBob swearing, there are some clips online which has Tom Kenny swearing whilst doing the SpongeBob voice.
You know, if it wasn't for the Christmas shit, I wouldn't fucking work. This is the only time of the year that I fucking work. It pisses me off.
Jellyfish Hunter.
That's hilarious.
In the storyboards, the montage of SpongeBob catching jellyfish goes on for a little longer, originally having two more creepy painted shots of Mr. Krabs demanding more jellyfish.
No, thank you. More!
Club SpongeBob. An unused paint shot of Squidward was cut, possibly for looking a bit too creepy. Just one bite. When Squidward enters the Krusty Krabs, originally a bucket of liquid was to spill onto the floor, in which Squidward would joke about this being the Krusty Krab security system, only to then discover that the liquid is gasoline, as a robot arm drops and ignites it.
That's funny!
The scene was cut just a few months after the episode initially aired, originally thought to be out of respect for the victims of the September 11 attacks, but was later confirmed by crew member Vincent Waller, who put out a statement in 2018 saying that the reason for the scene being cut was that Nickelodeon didn't want to show gasoline being ignited by a match, in fear that kids may try to copy it.
Ooh.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4. Crew member Sam Henderson revealed that there was originally going to be a scene involving the citizens of Bikini Bottom smashing furniture and writing graffiti inside of SpongeBob's head.
What?
This was cut because Nickelodeon didn't want to show any antisocial behaviours that kids might try. Another scene was cut after SpongeBob says to Patrick that he doesn't think wombo is a real word. Patrick would originally get angry and threaten back, "Are you saying I don't have any of the English?" and then aggressively squeeze Squidward, causing his head to inflate.
Ow.
This scene was probably cut for being a little too violent.
I wonder if a fall from this height would be enough to kill me.
Snowball effect.
Really?
There was a deleted scene of Squidward's snowman dungeon, showing the snowman being tortured and executed.
I think Squidward's taking this really seriously.
Rockabye Bivalve. There was originally going to be a scene where Patrick and SpongeBob gargle and spit into the baby clown's mouth to feed it. Kind of glad that was cut, not gonna lie.
That
the
sounds
episode
like
as a
later
whole
seasons.
also proved to be a bit controversial, for the implication of two men raising a baby.
Excuse me, listen.
Stupid.
We are two loving, caring parents.
Couple of sickos is what you are.
Personally, I find the most controversial part of this episode is the fact that SpongeBob happily and willingly murders a live sentient worm as he feeds it to the baby clam.
Wait! We will bury
You!
Clams. A cut gag from the episode storyboard would have had Mr. Krabs telephone his parents to tell them about his millionth dollar.
It's one of my favorite episodes.
Only to cut to a couple of tombstones showing that they were both dead. This scene was cut as it was felt to be a bit too morbid for the show, plus it would have caused a massive continuity error as we saw Mr. Krabs' mum alive and well in the
Fair enough, but that's funny.
Although I'm sure this would have spawned a lot of creepypasta theories about how Mr. Krabs swearing is what gave his mother a heart attack and later led to her death. The camping episode. There was originally going to be a second bum 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 in the campfire song, which would have caused Squidward's brain to fly out. Midlife Crustacean. One of the two SpongeBob episodes to be outright banned completely.
Really?
In this episode, Mr. Krabs is starting to have a bit of a
I
midlife
like this
crisis
one.
as he feels he's getting old. So he seeks help from SpongeBob and Patrick in hope that they can show him what it's like to be young again.
Ridiculous.
Initially, the evening doesn't appear to be going well, as Mr. Krabs states that SpongeBob and Patrick are actually late. But then Patrick mentions the final part of their evening, which involves doing a panty raid where they would sneak into a girl's house and steal their underpants. The trio break into a random house, manage to find some underwear, where Mr. Krabs states that he finally feels young again, only to find that the owner of the house is his mother.
Mother? Why did you tell me this was my mother's house?
Why didn't you ask?
And grounds him as a result. The episode aired fine for many years after release. That was until 2021, where it was officially pulled from broadcast.
That's bull.
Since even being removed from streaming services.
No!
The reason being that the whole sneaking into a girl's house and stealing their underwear would be a bad influence for younger children watching.
Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
Creepy.
The Great Snail Race. Now, this one is interesting, as I can't find any information online which confirms this, but from personally watching the episode growing up, the sexist remark SpongeBob makes to Gary about being a lady, and then cutting to Sandy mentioning about how she's going to kick SpongeBob's butt, was cut from UK airings.
What?
I call you a lady to humiliate and demean you. It's a motivational tool we coaches use.
And the only reason I know that this was cut was because I was always so confused as to why Sandy would suddenly show up at the end of the episode kicking SpongeBob and stating that was for yesterday.
Spare pants!
To the point that I had to Google it, wondering if it was a reference to a previous episode, only to find it was because of this remark he made earlier on.
Don't know why, but I think I'll kick SpongeBob's butt tomorrow.
So, yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
In an episode where Gary's eyes explode,
I know, right?
Seen bursting into flames, it wasn't the horrific animal abuse, but rather the sexism that the UK decided
Animal
this
abuse
episode had gone too far.
Animal abuse is A-okay.
Granny was originally going to be swinging an axe rather than a cookie tray, but this was seen as too violent.
An
Though
axe,
honestly,
why?
I found the closet full of dead snail shells to be far more disturbing.
Yeah. That's not...
To love a patty. This is one of the weirder ones. According to the storyboard, there was originally going to be a scene of SpongeBob in his bed with the Krabby Patty, implicating that he may have done stuff with it.
Why?
This was replaced with them having a picnic in the final episode, but it's still a pretty gross episode overall.
Why did you eat it? Ain't not
The
bad,
Two
right?
Faces of Squidward, aka the Handsome Squidward episode. Originally, Squidward's face would have been broken by a truck, but was later changed to a door in order to tone down the violence. To SquarePants or not to SquarePants? According to storyboards, when SpongeBob is filling out an application for the Krusty Krab and gets confused about the word felony, there's a deleted line of him saying, "Oh, I'm convicted of that all the time." Which, for those unaware, a felony refers to a serious crime for which the defendant can be sentenced to more than 1 year in prison. Honestly, not surprising. Truth or Square? Originally, the episode was going to have an additional line in the wedding scene, where after the priest says that he didn't know the wedding was a play, SpongeBob says, "It doesn't have to be," to which Sandy would then slap him. This scene was cut because the show likes to keep SpongeBob's sexuality ambiguous, and so wouldn't want any hint of him having any romantic feelings towards Sandy. Someone's in the kitchen with Sandy.
You.
Originally, Sandy was actually going to appear fully nude in this episode.
Why?
But this was toned back in the final episode where she would now be wearing her bikini and have a far less grotesque design. Though evidence for this original concept is still present in the final episode, as Sandy is still referred to being as naked by the other fish.
Look at a naked chipmunk.
Larry's gym. In the storyboard of this episode, Larry says that the only thing worse than donuts is ground glass, to which he then proceeds to smash a glass cup in a fish's mouth.
Jesus!
Nickelodeon deemed this scene to be too dangerous as kids may try to copy it, and so it was removed in the final episode.
Probably should.
Interestingly though, the scene of the fish becoming dizzy afterwards still happens in the final episode.
Well, okay.
Drive Happy. In the storyboard, the scene with Squidward trying to erase his memory is different. In this, he throws his brain into the hot food stand, where it is chopped up, deep fried, and then dumped back into Squidward's head. In the final episode, he simply erases his memory by using an eraser.
Wow.
SpongeBob in Random Land. Probably one of the most famous incidents of SpongeBob deleted scenes. In the original broadcast, when Squidward opens the third door on the wall of doors, we are briefly presented with a creepy image of Squidward possessing reddened eyes with dark rings around them and black tears dripping down.
Okay.
This was a reference to a popular creepypasta online, which used a similar image of Squidward for the artwork.
I hate
It told the story of an intern working at Nickelodeon who was made to watch a SpongeBob episode titled Squidward's Suicide. In this episode, Squidward would be humiliated at a clarinet concert and so was seen crying on his bed, with the unsettling look of red eyes, with blood dripping down his face, before finally deciding to shoot himself with a shotgun. This scene would be removed from the episode just a few months after release, and instead replaced with an image of Squidward as a baby.
This place is a nightmare. Oh, this place is a nightmare.
When asked on Twitter about why the scene was deleted, crew member Vincent Waller responded that it was due to a standards and practice issue. I imagine it was probably a combination of potential copyright issues and the fact that Nickelodeon wouldn't want to reference a story which has one of their main characters killing themselves. It's also worth noting that in earlier drafts, the Squidward face was originally supposed to start zooming into the camera, but this was cut for being too scary.
Yeah, no thank you.
The Quarantined Crab, the second of two SpongeBob episodes that were completely banned.
Wow.
The episode's plot revolves around a health inspector who visits the Krusty Krab and deems it a health hazard as he believes someone inside has the disease known as clam flu, and so puts the restaurant under quarantine. The episode was delayed from airing due to its similarity of actual lockdowns happening around the world because of COVID.
Yeah.
Though this episode was scheduled to release in 2020, production would have started much sooner before the pandemic was even a thing, so it was just a matter of unfortunate coincidence rather than anything else. The disease clam flu was actually more of a parody on bird flu, as clams tend to act like birds in the SpongeBob universe. Crew member Vincent Waller stated on Twitter that the episode wasn't going to be permanently taken off air, but at least until the whole pandemic situation had calmed down.
And it probably still hasn't.
And sure enough, on the 29th of April 2022, the episode officially premiered in the US, and is now also available on streaming services.
Pretty good. Like, I gotta admit, that was pretty fascinating stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised, like, all the newer season episodes weren't like banned, because I hear like they're all really, really gross and everything. Why were some of those gross ass things even let into the show? Ugh. Let me know what you think should have been banned. And please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to my latest videos. And I'll see you on the next episode.